Yeah, but if you depends inside.
This one.
Huh?
From where is it?
So Debipersad.
Debipersad.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your name? Gujarati. Yesterday you did
I'm
1 hour and you moved it. 1.5 hours.
2 hours. Was it only for 2 hours? It's the last 1 hour.
Yeah, it's on the top. Get your pallbearers. We need them now. Okay. They're coming. Yeah. Okay. We'll wait.
हम भी हैं
Yeah. Okay. This way for Prakash Bhai.
ठीक है
And they've got the. Okay. We'll do it then.
ठीक है
Yeah.
no if you want to wait
Because they're coming.
हाँ कोई बात नहीं
Election, né? Yes.
Yeah. And the others that were your pallbearers. They can do it. It's okay. If not, we have others here. Yeah. As soon as you're ready, let me know.
Think to 082 379.
Could the pallbearers come forward? And the puddle of water here. शरण शरण शांति का धाम एक सहारा तेरा नाम शरण शरण शांति का धाम एक सहारा तेरा नाम एक सहारा तेरा नाम एक सहारा तेरा नाम एक सहारा Okay, the sandalwood is coming down. Dear friends, I do understand it's an emotional time, but remember, we're living through COVID. Please, when you come to pay your final respects and you come to convey your condolences to the family, as far as possible, do not hug, put your hands together and greet Namaste. Thank you.
son. Revered Swami, Ved Anand, Swami, respected Pandiji, members of the Arya Samaj, and our dearest elders, Namaste and good afternoon to one and all. I'm Addie J, your program director this morning. It is with great sadness and mostly shock that we have gathered today to pay our last respects to Mrs. Urvasi Debipersad, my Mosi. She leaves behind her husband, Prakash Debipersad, her children, Arhana and Yadav. Mosi was a loving sister of Nishwan, Radhika, and the late Vyas Bandhu. Always a joyful person whose unique voice will ring in our heads, always, whose contagious laughter will be remembered forever. The passion, the love, and the commitment that she had for her students was exemplary. She loved teaching and they loved learning from her. The messages that we received from her past and present pupils proves what an absolute amazing and awesome teacher she was. All we have is the wonderful memories that each one of us here today shares in his or her own special way. So as much as it hurts to say goodbye to this body, we must remember that the soul lives on, and today we must also celebrate the great life that Urvashi Mosi lived. Firstly, I would like to now hand over to Pandit Yuvesh Sundar to lead us in prayer.
Members of the bereaved family, the Bandhu and the Debipersad family, revered Swamijis, Dr. Ramvilas, Eminent President of the Arya Samaj, Pandit R.P. Shanan, President of the Arya Samaj, respected Purohits of the Vedic Purohit Mandir, members of the Arya Samaj, both APS Durban, as well Arya Samaj Prasista, and respective elders from various organizations. Ladies and gentlemen, my namaste to one another. It is with great sorrow that we've assembled here to bid farewell to your dear beloved mom, sister, aunt, cousin of the Bandhu family. Life is a cycle which starts with birth and ends with death. On this occasion of the death of a dear beloved friend, Urvashi, sister-in-law, we are here with sorrowful heart to be part of the sad moment of the Bandhu and the Debipersad family. It is said, old go to death, but death comes to the young. It is a fact which is most troublesome, and we all have to bear the pain of this irreplaceable loss which is created by the word death. At the moment, as members of the family, you have various thoughts in your mind. Your mind is like a whirlwind. Various questions are coming to mind. Why did this happen to me? Why did God take my mother? My sister, she was there for me. All these questions are in your mind. But remember, our purpose here today is to bid farewell to that Atma. And we ask Paramatma to give that Atma Shanti and Mukti, and according to its karma, may that Atma find a suitable abode. We say to Paramatma, give the family that strength to overcome their loss. And how can we do it? By prayer. So let us join our hands together. We ask the Almighty Paramatma, Paramatma, is parivar ko shanti do. Om देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव ॐ अस्तु सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखमाप्नुयात्। हे परमात्मा, इस संसार के सभी प्राणी सुखी रहे, सब निरोग रहे, सबका कल्याण हो, इस संसार में कोई भी दुखी ना हो। हे नाथ सब सुखी हो, कोई न हो दुखारी, सब हो निरोग भगवन, धन धान्य की भंडारी। हे नाथ सब सुखी हो, कोई न हो दुखारी, सब हो निरोग भगवन, धन्य धान्य की भंडारी। सब पात्र भावने के सन्मार्ग के प्रतीक हो, दुखिया न कोई होवे, सृष्टि में प्राणधारी। दुखिया न कोई होवे, सृष्टि में प्राणधारी। हे नाथ सब सुखी हो, कोई न हो दुखारी, सब हो निरोग भगवन, धन धान्य की भंडारी। सब हो निरोग भगवन, धन धान्य की भंडारी। Ladies and gentlemen, before I commence with the Ishwar Upasana, please, if you have your cell phones on, please switch your cell phones off. If you do need to take a call, please do so kindly outside. Let us give respect to that Atma that has come to the door of Brahma. We will now recite the Ishwar Upasana. Here, these mantras, we ask Paramatma to remove from us all vices and sorrows. We say, Paramatma, give us those qualities that will make us noble. Om Vishwani Deva Savitarturita Niparasuva Yadbhadran Kanya Asuva. Om Hiranyagarbha Samavardhatagre Bhutasya Jataha Patireka Asit Sadhadhare Prithvim Yam Udimam Kasmai Devam Yaha Vishavidhima. Om Ya Atmana Balada Yasya Vishwa Upasate Prashisham Yasya Devaham Yasya Chaya Amritam यस्य मृत्युः कस्मै देव यः विषाविधेम ॐ यः प्राणतो निमिषतो माहित्वैक इत्रा च जगतो बभूव य ईशे अस्य द्विपदश्चतुष्पदः कस्मै देव यः विषाविधेम ॐ येन द्युग्रा पृथिवी च गृढं येन स्वहस्तरितं येन नाकः यो अन्तरिक्षे रजसो विमानः कस्मै देव यः विषाविधेम ॐ प्रजापतेन त्वदेतान्यन्यो विश्वाजातानि परिता बभूव यत्कामास्ते जुहुमस्तन्नो अस्तु वयं स्याम पथयो रायिणाम् ॐ स नो बन्धुर्जनिता सविधाता धामानि वेदभुवनानि विश्वम् यत्र देवा अमृतमा निशाना स्मृतिये धामन्नधीरयन्त ॐ अग्निनाय सुपता राये अस्मान् विश्वानि देवयुनानि विद्वान् युयोध्यस्मै जुहुरानवीनो भूयिष्ठान् तेन भक्तिं विधेम. Before I hand you over to the Master of Ceremony, there's a message that we have from Pandit Usha, who is in Guyana at the moment. And it goes, my heartfelt condolences to Prakash Bhai, Arhana, Yadav, Vishwani, Nishwan, and Radhika. May Paramatma grant you all the strength, courage, and fortitude to bear this loss. I'm missing you all. Take care, but my prayers and thoughts are with you. I now hand you over to Joy and Singh.
There's so much to be said about our dearest Urvashi, and to tell us more, I call upon our first speaker, S. Deonarayan from Burnwood Secondary.
Good afternoon to all. Prem Namaste. I'm Mr. S. Deonarayan and I stand here as a management member of Burnwood Secondary. I will briefly speak on Urvasi Debipersad as a staff member. Urvasi Debipersad, affectionately known as UD or Debipersad to the Burnwood family, was a member of the language department spanning over 30 years. To many of us, she being the eldest at Burnwood was considered the mother of the family, and she played this role right till the last day of our final term. She was dedicated to her profession and students. She was exceptional, truly gifted in the art of delivering her lessons, including the high-end Shakespeare works, to a huge variety of students in individually custom-wrapped methods that work for each one of those diverse personalities. Such was Devi's skill. Such was her dedication to her students that she, even in ill health, she would ensure that the time loss was covered when she returned to school so that they could be ready for the exams. In the department, she was a team player and a good administrator, and her marking was always on par. UD also developed and improved her teaching and technology skills in line with what is expected of all the staff of Burnham. One of her innovations was she was recording her set works in the classroom in order to be more effective when her health deteriorated. Applying for promotion was not on UD's radar, as she firmly believed that her forte lay in being a classroom educator. Changed the lives of many learners who had passed through her doors. I'm sure that there are many learners who are living the legacy of UD as teachers, doctors, engineers, artisans, etc. And speaking of legacy, a few weeks ago, Debbie had a talk with management on re-establishing a library center at school, which was enthusiastically received by our principal, Mr. Masondo. He has indicated that as a legacy, a library will be established in her name at Burnwood Secondary. So the legacy of Debipersad will live long at our school. In terms of personality, Debbie was in her own league. She had an unmatched level of kindness, a loving spirit, and a pleasant disposition. While she may be soft-spoken, she could also be quietly assertive. Many of us knew this. Her advice, knowledge, sharing, and mentoring will sorely be missed, but it will linger with us at Burnwood. Debbie really had a good, subtle sense of humor, especially during our staff meetings. She would make those remarks, and that would get us going in the staff meetings and break the ice. So on behalf of the principal, the SGB, management, and staff of the Burnwood family, I would like to convey our heartfelt condolences to the Debipersad family. Rest in peace, Urvasi, or UD, or Debbie, as we affectionately know her, with your heavenly family and your literary family. You will be sorely missed by all of us. I thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll now have a bhajan rendered by Pawan Bandhu from the Plesisla Arya Samaj.
Namaste, dear friends and family. If you have your own prayers, you may please join me on bhajan 43 on page 115, as the Gayatri Mantra is very important in our lives, as we know. And this bhajan is based on the Gayatri Mantra. So if you don't have a book, at least every time we say Om Urvasi, you may all join us. Thank you.
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः। तूने हमें उत्पन्न किया, पालन कर रहा है तू। तूने हमें उत्पन्न किया, पालन कर रहा है तू। तुझसे ही पाते प्राण हम, तुझसे ही पाते प्राण हम। दुख और कष्ट हरता है तू। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः। तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तेरा महान तेज है छाया हुआ सभी स्थान में तेरा महान तेज है छाया हुआ सभी स्थान में सृष्टि की वास्तु वास्तु में सृष्टि की वास्तु में तू ही रहा विद्यमान है ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तेरा ही धरते ध्यान हम मांगते तेरी दया तेरा ही धरते ध्यान हम मांगते तेरी दया ईश्वर हमारी बुद्धि को ईश्वर हमारी बुद्धि को श्रेष्ठ मार्ग पर चला ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः
Our next speaker is Mrs. Intanzi, the HOD from Burnwood Secondary. If she's not here as yet, we will now call upon Vinnie Governor from Burnwood Secondary.
Good afternoon, family and friends. It is indeed with a very heavy heart that we have come together to bid farewell to our also dear friend, sister, mother, wife, aunt, educator, and so much more. Mrs. Urvasi Debipersad, affectionately known as Debbie to most of her colleagues, was a true legend in her stead. She stood tall always, towering above so many, purely because of her ability to embrace life with all its challenges, with verve, ambition, and above all, pure and utter kindness. Urvasi's unassuming presence has left behind such a formidable legacy that I do believe it will be unmatched. Her friendships forged along the way added so much of value to those of us that had the privilege and honor to get to know the real Urvasi. To Arana and Yadav, I want to share with you guys what we learned about your beautiful mom. Yadav, her eyes would light up every time she would mention those anecdotes about your love for fish, turtles, and yes, even your Shark Tank. These moments when you would just accompany her to the mall to ensure that she was safe and cover her with your protection gave us such a grand feeling of accomplishment that you have become the young gentleman she was so proud to call her son. Arhana, her princess, she would smile from within as she spoke of your love and achievements in life. She'd always recount anecdotes of your deep sense of responsibility, deep family values, and above all, your devotion to her mom. To Prakash, Urvasi's soulmate, we looked at your unwavering support with so much admiration. The numerous deeds of service, from putting her school bag in her car every morning, to driving her besties to our very beautiful get-togethers, made Urvasi's heart sing with joys. Stay blessed and comforted in the knowledge that you are always so very well loved. On behalf of Mrs. Antanzi, our department head, and the languages team, we would like to place on record that Urvasi's knowledge, inspiration, and dedication to education will indeed leave a huge gap and an even bigger void in the hearts of the team. You were a real gem. To the dearest friends, Eveline, Marisha, Sharon, those really special get-togethers, those long DMCs, the laughs we shared, and the tears we cried together, we will forever miss. As recent as Saturday morning, Debbie shared such an enlightening message on the fragility of life with us. We will forever be grateful for having had the opportunity to be a part of your journey. Our bestie Urvasi, the pain of a hard goodbye is the heart's tribute to the privilege to love. And yes, we had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun. Our season with you is over, dearest friend, and we will cherish that love forever. Rest well, Debbie, until we meet again. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you, Mr. President.
Urvashi Mosi dedicated her life to the Arya Samaj. I now call upon Dr. Ramvilas to address us.
Ujjaya Swami Vedanandi, Ujjaya Swami Indra. To Bhai Prakash, I want to say Prakash is a big brother. He always will carry that image, and it is something that just comes naturally to you. He's the kind of person that when you have in your midst, you feel a sense of security, a sense of somebody strong that's standing behind you. To Prakash, Rahana, Yadav, people, Pandit Usha, who is not here, I can just imagine the agony that she must be going through, knowing that she can't be here at this moment. I know, to Vishwani, to all of you, I just want to say that as I stand here, Pandit Ardiban, all of us that grew up in the Arya Samaj, with the Ved Mandir, growing up and attending functions there, while we had leaders like Panditji, Nardevji, Ram Bharojji, who deliver those beautiful discourses and sermons. But for me, that aura of dignity, that aura of discipline that was there in the Ved Mandir, for me, we knew him as Padaratji then. It was Pandit Padarat who held that decor in that mandir. He made sure that there was an ethos of divinity there all the time. And when we sat, if there was anything that disturbed the ceremony and the atmosphere that should prevail, in his own way, he would make sure that that quietness and dignity was restored. Prakash, just touching on the Padarat family, Bhaiji Padarat was like, the family has this dedication and commitment. And like his dad Prakash, his dad was involved in Babel, actively engaged in matters, not only in the Arya Samaj, but matters of the community there, fighting the battle of group areas, and all of that, actively at the forefront. So it is in this kind of environment growing up that Prakash also, for as long as I am the president, I think, of the Arya Samaj, and that's a long time, Prakash has been the secretary. And really dedicated, committed, quietly working there, doing his bit, always being there, standing by everybody in his own quiet way. And Urvasi, when I think of Urvasi, I think of my trips to Petermaritzburg. And when we go to Dasarat Bandhu's place, all of you know, and I know Dasarat Bandhu enjoyed a special place in the hearts of both, Nishwan, Nishi, Urvasi, the entire, all of them, in fact, all of us. And the name Bandhu, I remember when we would visit, and there would be neighbors, there would be an extended family. And he really lived up to his name. Bandhu, as you know, Tumeva Mata, Chapita, Tumeva Bandhu, Chasaka, Tumeva. And we say, Ishwar Upasana, we say, Son Bandhu, Son Janita, Son Badhara. This family has really lived up to that. And I remember when we visited Bandhu, they were all part of an extended family. And for sure, whenever you went, you met Nishwan and Urvasi and the rest of the extended family. For Urvasi, besides the family, and you've listened to her dedication in teaching, her heart and soul was in the Arya Samaj, and Plesaslia Arya Samaj in particular. You can't think of Plesaslia Arya Samaj, you can't think of the bhajans that they rendered, all of you as a group, and they, Nishwan would be there. And Urvasi, she was a part of that spirit of Plesaslia Arya Samaj. She was a founding member of the NHY, the National Hindu Youth Federation. She was at the forefront, besides being a person who was actively involved in the Arya Youth League. Petermaritzburg played a very big part in the Arya Youth League. And we actually had conferences, we would go and stay at the homes of our members and have various little conferences of the AYL. And Petermaritzburg was at the forefront, and at the forefront was then Vishwan, Nishi, Urvasi, and the entire family. Here in Reservoir Youth, she became, as would be natural, a part of the Arya Mitra Mandal, and Prakash and Urvasi were pillars of the Arya Stri Samaj. You've listened to people talk about her as an educator. Well, equally in the Arya Samaj, with the AYL Arya Youth League, she was able to attract youth. And she played a big part in making sure that all the youth got together and they worked under her guidance. Rana and Yadav were saying this past week or so, she somehow called them and asked them to sit and chat with her. Whether it was premonition or just a mother's intuition, but she wanted to share those special moments with them. And they were talking about it, special fond moments that they spent with her, and I'm glad they were able to do that. In her own way, like I said, whether it was premonition or otherwise, she wanted to share those moments with those that she loved dearly. I want to, before I leave you, just read a short message here. and it comes from the Arya Samaj, South Africa, and it's addressed to Prakash. It says, Hi Ji, it is much sadness that we learned of the sudden passing away of your affectionate and lovable Dharma Patni, Srimati Urvasi Debipersad. The sannyasis, trustees, officials and members of the Arya Samaj Africa sympathize with you and your family on the loss of your beloved wife, mother and a dear friend to many. Urvashi Bahan was a dynamic and progressive individual who lived her life in the true spirit of a Hindu, always keeping the flag of her dharma flying high. Bahanji encouraged and supported her husband in all his activities at the Aryamitra Mandal Reservoir Hills and the Arya Samaj South Africa. She also encouraged her children, Arhana and Yadav, to participate in the activities of the Aryan Youth League and the HEAL Foundation. As an educator, she faithfully devoted her entire life for the upliftment of the children in the community. Her contribution to society is of the highest order and has added a wonderful luster to the concept of selfless service. Her deeds are in keeping with the lofty ideas of the society as preached in the Vedas. During the despondent and forlorn period in her life, we pray for good health and spiritual strength, and may Paramatma shine divine blessings upon you, upon every one of you. May He grant all of you the capacity and resolve to accept this great loss. We pray that the departed soul finds peace, contentment and harmony in the sublime and ethereal world. And it is signed by Shailendra and by the President, Pandit Aarti Sharma. Namaste. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for those beautiful words. I have a message, and it goes as, and I quote, My dear friend, sister, and childhood confidant, Urvashi, our religious compass was that parting or death was inevitable, and it is that day we must prepare for. Our belief is that all we do in life prepares us for the day we depart. No matter how much we try to console ourselves today with this religious guidance, Urvashi's parting has been so sudden and emotionally jarring. It was this past Saturday she sent me a song to reiterate our common belief that life's journey is so uncertain. She was my childhood sister and we had such fun. Sangeeta, myself and her, we navigated life, went to university together and enjoyed the happiest moments of our youth with free abandon. She and Radhika always remembered the 6 naughty brothers next door for any function, and the annual Rakhi festival was their highlight for us. I was blessed to have had such a sister and friend. With our recent bereavements, we hardly spoke as it was always emotional for us. But over 6 months ago, we had a long conversation and she consoled me about my siblings passing away despite her grief. Today, I feel blessed that our childhoods were so colorful and beautiful. Her wedding to Prakash was such a momentous and joyous time for us. Sangeeta, I and all the friends preparing for an occasion we will always cherish, but a time we had to part as she took on her new role. Her contact was constant as she got friends to deliver my Rakhi in London when she was unable to. My dearest Urvashi, we were blessed to have you in our journey. Go well, my sister. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sitar Harku from the UK. I will now call upon Pawan Bandhu, who will give his message on behalf of Plesisla Arya Samaj.
Members of the bereaved family, revered Swamijis, officiating priest, Pandit Yuvesh Sundar, all dignitaries present from the various organizations, my dear friends and family. It is with a heavy heart and a lump in my throat that I stand here before you to not bid farewell, but to celebrate the life of my big sister, Urvasi Debipersad. With us not having a biological sister in our immediate family, Urvashi was the big sister in our lives, and my being the youngest grandchild in the family, the Bandhu family, We always had this very special connection, although we didn't see each other that often. But when we did, it felt as if we were never apart. This morning, I'd like to pay tributes twofold. One, as the Vice President of Mrs. Arya Samaj, and the other as a brother of Urvasi. I will commence with the tribute on behalf of Mrs. Arya Samaj. I quote, "To the Debipersad and Bandhu families, in the memory of the late Mrs. Urvasi Debipersad, we, the Mrs. Arya Samaj family, wish to convey to you and your family our deepest sympathy and condolence on the passing away of Bhenji Urvasi Debipersad. At this moment, when your lives are filled with despair, we can only pray that in God's will and in His infinite compassion, give the family the strength to bear this grievous loss with fortitude. Please rest assured that our prayers are with you. God created mothers to be very special people, and He had our Bhenji in mind already. She played an instrumental role at the Blessed Arya Samaj, and she'll be sorely missed at our Samaj, as she logged in virtually every single week. May the Debipersad and Bandhu family find the peace and the strength that comes in knowing that a loved one has gone to the eternal resting place. May his soul attain moksha. The officials and members of the Blessed Arya Samaj extend their condolences with deepest sympathy in your time of bereavement. We pray that God give repose to the soul departed from us. May God bless you all. From the Blessed Arya Samaj, Mrs. Shamola Dasrat, President, unquote. Dear friends and family, I will just give a very brief tribute on my side, as I know we're pressed for time. My dear Urvasi, I watched her grow from a teenager. I was a little kid that time, when we lived in the same yard in Bombay Road, Northdale, Pietermaritzburg. As she grew and studied, we celebrated all her achievements. When she qualified as a teacher, I know how exciting that moment was. Babaji was involved, Taji, Dadima, and the entire family. We celebrated that. She was a role model to all. She was beautiful inside out, a blessed soul who had a zest for life and traveling. And I think the traveling part was largely attributed to Bhai Prakash after they got married, because he was widely traveled and a great tourism and tour guide leader as well. She used to be fairly reserved before she got married, but after her marriage to Prakash Bhai, she really started to live life to the fullest with a beautiful family. She was eloquent, rigid, and as one of the other speakers mentioned, although she was rigid and assertive, etc., but she was full of fun in her own way, bubbly and full of laughter. We would look for every opportunity to laugh, and especially in Bombay Road, whenever we met, for whatever occasion. Be it as it may, I have to tell you this, even at a funeral. After the funeral, we'll still have a good laugh. When we lost Vyas Bhai last year, she was shattered. So were we all. And just about 3 months ago, when we lost her mom, it was even more devastating. And now, her death has a huge impact on us. We are still in shock and disbelief. However, we as a family, we need to be strong. And we will pray that her Atma attains moksha. On behalf of Blessed Arya Samaj, Love to Live, Touch of Hope, and PA1 Productions, and the Niranjan Bandhu family, I wish to extend our deepest condolences to Prakash Bhai, Arana, Yadav, Nishwan Bhai, and the entire family, and Radhika. May God grant you all strength in this very, very difficult time that we are all going through. As it says in one of the bhajans, which just sums up life in 2 lines, it says, "Ek din usse jana hai, jo bhi yahan aaya hai." The mere fact that we are all here, someday we have to go. With that, my dear friends and family, I leave you my friend Namaste. Thank you.
Yadav has said he would like to say a few words, so I call you up, Yadav.
My prem namaste to one and all. Good day. My name is Urvasi Debipersad, son of the late Urvasi Debipersad. Today I've decided to give a very short talk to bid farewell to my mom, because it will be quite difficult for me to continue. I will try my best. Please bear with me. I was lost for words when I heard the tragedy struck my family once again. First, my nanny, 2 weeks later, and now my mom. Sorry, not 2 weeks later, that's 2 months later, now my mom. 2022 was a sad, tear-filled year for the family. We first lost our dog Zorro. 2 weeks later, we lost our grandmom, and now our beloved mom. Mom did not take losing our dog and grandmom lightly, but she was always strong and kept on going. She was diabetic and never gave up hope and fought this illness right until the end. Mom was doing well and managed to regulate her sugar levels. She was more energetic and happy. I am sure many will agree and noticed the new spark in her these past few weeks. She was always joyful, loving, and caring. She showered myself, my sister, and everyone else with lots of love. She always made sure that we are all well fed and well taken care of. When I was studying, she will always be bringing me food, chocolates, chips, just to keep me going throughout the night. I never ever went to bed on an empty stomach. Regardless of the time, if I was hungry, she would always make a plan to cook something. She worked hard to provide for us and always ended up buying the whole store. If you do not believe me, come and see our fridge and cupboards at home. Last week when school closed and she was on holiday, she went and bought so much of food, our fridge is full to the teeth. Whenever visitors would come, she would never let them leave empty-handed without eating. She would always buy everyone gifts for different occasions and make sure that everyone received a gift. Whenever I should get injured when participating in judo, cricket, she was the first one that will always be there with the first aid kit for me. She was very proud of me. As I was growing up, she should always look forward to seeing me fight in my judo competitions, and when we should travel, she should always look forward to traveling, to watch me fight at the judo. And she should always support me in whatever I did. As mentioned before, my fish keeping, it started off small, then it became an addiction. Keeping fish is an addiction, I would say, because you can never stop at keeping one fish only. There's a variety out there. And regardless, I would get scolded, yes, for bringing in so many tanks and fish in the house. But regardless, she will still support me and still let me buy the fish I wanted to. Because she knew as long as I was happy, as long as the children were happy, she was happy. Mom lived a very happy life and was loved by everyone. She was like a mother figure to everyone. Mom, we are still in shock that we lost you. Life will never be the same without you again. I promise to fulfill your dreams while you're watching from above. It's going to be difficult to let go, but I know you'll always be in my heart forever, guiding me through life. I will miss you, my supermom. I know you are free and happy and have now reunited with our lost loved ones. I love you, Mom. May you rest in peace. Thank you.
You've got a message. Namaste all. On behalf of the Arya Mitra Mandir, we would like to convey our deepest condolences to Prakash Bhai and family. We hope our prayers will help console the family during this time of their loss. Namaste. Thank you so much. Arhana has got the courage now, so she will come and pay a tribute to her mom.
My Prem Namaste. It is with a heavy heart that we have to bid farewell to a phenomenal woman who I was honored to call my mom. It still feels unreal that she is gone. My mom had an absolute heart of gold. She was generous, fearless, bold, and extremely passionate about anything she put her mind to. She was someone who put everyone else's needs before her own. She absolutely loved everyone. Love and optimism always radiated from her. No matter how much pain she was in or discomfort from her diabetes battle, she would always make sure that the needs of her family, friends, and school were prioritized without complaint. My mom was an extremely passionate educator. She loved teaching and inspired so many young people. As I have learned from staff members, she was not just a teacher, she was described as a mother in her workplace. Many learners looked up to her as a role model, and other teachers would look to her for advice. I have fond memories of her coming home from school and always sharing stories about her encounters with her learners and staff members. She truly loved each and every one of you. Speaking of role models, as the daughter grows up, she looks up to her mom. As I was growing up, I know I would give my mom a hard time because I definitely potted with the wooden spoon sometimes. However, she was understanding and loving always. As I grew older, I learned the importance of listening to my mother because somehow moms are always right, and if you're wrong, they will always be there to tell you, "I told you so." I am extremely grateful because my mom was so supportive and encouraging with anything that I did. I have learned a lot from her, and I hope to continue her legacies. As I was writing this speech, I was deep in thought about what comes next in my life. My role has completely changed in the household, and even though I still feel like I don't know what to do, somehow she prepared me for this. There is a void in our house and our hearts. Her presence will be missed immensely. I will treasure the countless moments spent with her. I appreciate every sacrifice made, lesson taught, and moment spent with her. Life is short. Treasure each moment you spend with your loved ones. My mom's passing came as a shock to us, but I have faith that she will always watch over and guide us from above. Thank you.
On behalf of Prakash Debipersad and the family, we would like to thank all family and friends for the food, sandwiches, cold drinks, but most importantly, for the love and the support that you have provided for the family. To perform the last rites, I will now hand you over to Pandit Yuvesh Sundar. Namaste.
Before I commence with the Antyeshti Prarthana, to the Debipersad and the Bandhu family, we pray that Paramatma will give you the strength and courage in the time of your bereavement, although it is impossible to see beyond your pain. May you look back to good memories to comfort and help you today. May your heart and soul find peace and happiness. May the blessings of Paramatma always be upon you. May peace always be within your soul. May its essence illuminate your heart now and forever. Tvamadi Deva Purusha Puranas Tvamasya Vishwasya Param Nidhanam Vetasi Vedyam Cha Param Cha Dhama Tvaya Tatam Vishwamananta Rupa. Almighty Paramatma, who has been with us since creation, who is the supreme treasure of this vast universe. You are the knower, the knowledge, and the final resting place for all beings. You are the infinite presence in whom all things are. You create the entire universe. May we seek courage, fortitude, and shelter in you. Vasansi jirnani yatha vihaya Navani grihnati naro parani Tatha sharirani vihaya jirna Yanyani sayyati navani dehi. Just as a person discards an old garment and puts on one that is new, so the Atma leaves the body at death and takes on a new one. The Atma does not perish with the body. O Paramatma, may we take courage from this truth. Na jayate mriyate va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyam ajo nityah shashvato yam purano Nahanyate hanyamane sharire. Never is the Atma born, never does it die. Unborn and eternal, beyond times gone by and yet to come. The Atma does not die when the body dies. May we understand this truth, Paramatma. Nenam chindanti shastrani, nenam dahati pavakaha, na jenam kledayantyapo, na shoshayati marutaha. This Atma, no weapons move, no fires burn, waters cannot wet it, and wind cannot dry it. O Paramatma, may we find comfort these truths. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityur dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmad pariharirthi na tvam sojitum marhasi. All things born must certainly die, and out of death must come life. Knowing this, we must desist from sorrow. May we have the strength to do this, Almighty Paramatma. Avyaktadini bhutani vyakta madhyani bharata avyani nidanan eva tatra ka paridevana. All beings are invisible before birth. They are invisible again after death. May we see only the mortal being in its existing lifespan. O Paramatma, grant us the wisdom to accept this truth. Vedametam Purusham Mahantam Adityavarnam Tamasa Parastat Tvameva Viditvati Mrityumeti Nanyaha Pantha Vidyate Yanaya. The Supreme Absolute Being is full of splendor, like the sun, untainted by darkness. There is no other path to salvation and eternal bliss than by getting to know Paramatma. May we be blessed with the wisdom to know Him. Om Ya Atmada Balada Yasya Vishwa Upasate Prashisham Yasya Devaham Yasya Chaya Amritam Yasya Mrityuhu Tasmai Deva Yahavishavidema. In this hour of distress, we need you, Paramatma, who alone can give us physical vigor and spiritual strength. O blissful divinity, whose grace is immortality, whose praises are sung by all enlightened persons, we offer our humble prayer and entreat you to lessen our sorrows. Om Suryam Chakshar Gacchatu Vadamatma Dhyancha Gaccha Prithavim Cha Dharmana Apova Gacchayati Tatrate Hitavoshadhishu Pratitishta Sharire. Please repeat. O Supreme Paramatma, may all the components of this body be merged in the 5 elements of the universe. May its vision be absorbed in the sun, its breath into the atmosphere, and its other senses into the appropriate elements. May the Atma, according to the noble deeds performed here, dwell in a body worthy of such merit. Om Sham Agni Paschat Pasham Purastar Cham Udara Cham Adara Tapenam Ekastrida Vihito Jat Veda Samyaginam Dehi Sukrita Uloke. Please repeat. O Paramatma, who is self-luminous, who dispenses justice even-handedly, and who rewards everyone justly. May the Atma of this body find peace in every direction. O omniscient and all-pervading Paramatma, the Creator, the Sustainer, and Dissolver of this universe, may this Atma be given a worthy abode. Om Sangachya Swapitribihi Samyameni Stapurtena Parame Vyomam Hitvaya Vadyam Punarastamehi Sangachatam Tanvasuvarchaham. Please again. O Paramatma, may this Atma, by its austerity, enlightenment, and good deeds, obtain like its forebearers a suitable state. May it be free from all blemishes, and once again inherit an enlightened body, full of lustre, and return to this world to perform noble deeds. Om Vayur Anilam Amritam Adhinam Bhasmantam Shariram Om Kratosmara Krivesmara Kritosmara. O Almighty Paramatma, this Atma is immortal. It is not made up of the 5 elements. The mortal body will be reduced to ashes and will be disposed of suitably. May we ever remember you in every thought, word and deed we perform, Paramatma. Eka eva suridharmo nijate nuyati yaham sharirena samam nasam sarvamanyati gacchati. Almighty Paramatma, all material links perish with the death of the body. It is only one's good deeds and dharma that remains with the soul after death. May this dharma never be allowed to perish. Before we conclude with Astoma Satyamaya and the Shanti part, those people and family members who have not paid their tribute, please come forward. Call upon the immediate family to say their final farewells and bid farewell to Urvasi. behalf of Prakash, Debipersad family, and the Bandhu family, I would like to thank you all for supporting them during this time. Permatma bless you, good health, long life. And when you go back, go home safely to your families. It is a silly season now. You have to drive for yourself as well as other drivers. Go home safely. May your homes be happy homes. Thank you very much. Could we all rise for Astoma Satkamir and then Shanti Bhav. Astoma Satkamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Ma Punyaya. Shanti Antariksham Shanti Prithvi Shanti Apa Shanti Oshadaya Shanti Vanaspataya Shanti Vishwe Deva Shanti Brahma Shanti Sarvam Shanti Shanti Eva Shanti Sama Shanti Redi Om Shanti 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 Om. ध्योलोक में शांति विद्यमान है, अंतरिक्ष में शांति है, पृथ्वी शांत है, जल शांत है, औषधियाँ और वनस्पतियाँ शांति देने वाली है, सभी दिव्य पदार्थ सुसंगत और शांत है, ज्ञान में शांति है, विश्व की प्रत्येक वस्तु शांति युक्त है, सर्वत्र शांति है। वह शांति इस परिवार को भी प्राप्त हो, वह शांति हम सबको भी प्राप्त हो। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Once again, namaste, thank you. Go well, Paramatma be with you. Due to COVID restrictions, a maximum of 8 people are allowed in the antechamber. Thank you. Could the pallbearers come forward? Asharana Sharana Shanti Kadam Eka Sahara Tigranam Asharana